Hello everyone and welcome. This video is a little bit late and we've got a lot of stuff to go through, so let's hop right in. I'm Mike, this is Mike's After Action Reviews, and this is the first quarter action update for 2025. Alright guys, as always, our first section of the video for action updates is in case you missed it. Now, in order to be better here and improve here at Mike's After Action Reviews, we are always trying to cut things, be more streamlined, and just be more concise. So we are no longer going to be doing the releases that we've done as far as reviews and things like that on our channel. We're just kind of switching gears to being more entertainment news oriented. So we're going to be talking about, we're only going to be talking about the video game and movie releases for the first quarter of 2025 in this case, but basically for the quarter we're covering. So let's just hop right into that. So we're not going over an overview of reviews we've done or anything like that. So let's hop right in here into the quarterly releases. So for January, by the way, this is from the biggest releases that we can find in both movies and video games. We're doing 2 for each month. So for January, Dynasty Warriors Origins came out for the PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S. It was released on January 13th, 2025. Published by Omega Force and developed by Omega Force and published by Koei Tecmo. Its critical reception is as follows. So from IGN gave it a 9 out of 10, PC Gamer gave it a 75%, Metacritic gave it a Metascore of 79 and a user score of 8. So that's actually pretty good, pretty decent reviews. IGN gave it the best score, but they usually they're a little bit nicer to games. Yeah, it's like everything is a 7, right? Even if it's bad. Then again, if everything is a 7, even if it's good, I guess, that's weird. But anyway, so here we have about profitability. A lot of times, video games are harder to find the exact numbers. But here, so from TotalApexGaming.com, this is... according to TechRaptor, Dynasty Warriors Origins recently broke a major sales record with 1 million copies sold across PCs and consoles. The publisher, Koei Tecmo, announced this news in a press release. Additionally, the game's demo saw twice as many downloads, meaning many are interested in this new title. For the occasion, the team released art of the amnesiac protagonist and the medic Yuan Hua thanking players. While this number may seem small relative to their to other giants like Nintendo or FromSoft, it's still a tremendous milestone for its series. For reference, the game launched exactly 1 month ago, highlighting how quickly it reached these numbers worldwide. Additionally, this individual number tops many other games in the series that never reached the number over their entire runs. So, with inflation and everything, 1 million copies sold, and game prices and everything, that might be, so it could be enough as long as they're not inflating their budgets with the game. And I hope that they would. It's a foreign publisher and a foreign developer. So like I hope that they're not doing that. As far as inflating their budget, and so that they could have made a nice profit there. So good for those guys. Solid reviews. Looks like it's going to have made a nice profit. Our second game for January is Donkey Kong Country Returns, which came out on the Twitch. Its release date was January 16th, 2025. It was developed by Retro Studios and Forever Entertainment SA and published by Nintendo of America Incorporated. Its critical reception was as follows. IGN 8 out of 10, Well Played 8 out of 10, and Metacritic gave it a Metascore of 77 and a user score of 6.9. Now, those are really good scores, and so that's really good. Kind of a classic coming back in the modern era with a remaster here. Excuse me. I didn't play it, so I don't know if you would consider it more of a remaster or a remake. Whatever they said it was, it did well with critics and audiences as far as reviews. So as far as profitability, so from NintendoLife.com on January 30th, 2025. If the pre-release backlash regarding the price of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD was anything to go by, we might have expected the game to crash and burn mere days after it launched. Alas, the internet is and forever will be its own little bubble, and the game has topped the Japanese charts once again with a total of 35,265 copies sold. For context, total units sold by the end of January was 142,349. So for a remaster or a remake, that's actually really good numbers. Yeah, so it's topping the sales charts for Switch, so that's really cool. And Switch in itself is a niche platform. A lot of hardcore gamers don't play on the Switch; they play either PC, Xbox, or PC, Xbox, or PlayStation. So you understand what you're getting yourself into with that one. That's awesome. Good for those guys. Okay, so then moving into movies for January. So we have the Wolfman. We were going to review this one. Like, we were thinking that it was a possibility, and we ended up not doing it, and which is fine. Sometimes that happens. We're going to get into how it did, though. We might have dodged a bullet, basically. So, the release date was January 17th, 2025. It was, so the production companies were Blumhouse Productions and Universal Pictures. It was directed by Leigh Whannell, and I hope that I'm spelling that right, Leigh-Whannell. So, review scores. Now, here we go. IMDb gave it a 5.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, is from the top critics, gave it a 49%. All critics gave it a 50%. The audience score on Rotten Tomatoes from verified audiences was 56%, and all audiences was 50%. So basically, critics and audiences are all kind of agreeing that this was not the greatest on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see what the Metacritic had to say about it. Metacritic said Metascore of 50 and a user score of 5.1. So it's 50%, and you think that's really bad, but actually 50% is a mixed score. So, but still, it's like, I can't, you get discouraged nowadays because so many stuff is, so many movies and so much of the media that we have today is just bland. It's just bland. So, there you go, though. Basically, mixed score. Let's see what people are saying about it as far as profitability. So from Collider, on February 2nd, 2025, Wolfman has grossed $29 million worldwide so far against a reported production budget of $25 million from Box Office Mojo. So the production budget was $25 million. So from Box Office Mojo, it had a domestic total run of $20 million, and internationally it made $13 million, leading to a worldwide box office of $34 million. By the way, I'm not reading all of the numbers. It's more than 20 million. It's like 20,700,000 and whatever. I'm just reading the first number here. So worldwide box office of $34 million. So it probably did not make money because of, okay, so it may have because of its low budget, and so they may not have marketed it as much. But most likely, they always say double the production budget, and that is what the total cost it needs to even break even. So it bombed. Not very good, guys. That sucks. It looked interesting, but then when I checked out a couple of the reviews, I did see that it was not well received by audiences too. And those are the guys I actually pay attention to. So that kind of sucks. Okay, so then moving on. So the second movie was Companion. It released on January 31st, 2025. It had production companies. It had three of them. So we had Boulder Light Pictures, New Line Cinema, and Vertigo Entertainment. It was directed by Drew Hancock. The critical reception was as follows. So 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb. Top critics on Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 91%. All critics gave it a 93%. Verified audiences gave it an 89%, and all audiences gave it an 86%. So that's pretty good. You've got kind of an agreement there between the Rotten Tomatoes crowd. The Metacritic Metascore was 70, and the user score was 6.8. Again, an agreement between the two. I go more with the Metacritic. I think that's a little bit more reliable as far as the scores. Basically, it tells me that both critics and audiences have loved this movie, and it's probably if you kind of aggregate all those numbers, I would say it's like an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. So still above average or excellent. Consider, subjectively, I didn't see the movie, but it sounds like an above average to excellent right in there somewhere. So, profitability. So from Collider.com on February 2nd, produced on a reported budget of $10 million, Companion is compared to the cult classic series has been compared to the cult classic series Black Mirror. So it's about, if you guys didn't know, it's about basically a sex robot that goes a little bit crazy. We read these, by the way, we're just reading the excerpt so we can find the budget. So it was $10 million, and then let's take a look here. So from boxofficemojo.com, domestically it made $20 million. Internationally it made $15 million, leaving a worldwide box office of $36 million. This is great. The smaller production, smaller productions is basically where Hollywood needs to be with making money. And they usually do well. That's why you see a lot of B movies that are horror movies and stuff, because, if a horror movie that is a B movie, and a lot of times they'll name themselves something similar to like a big movie, like if there's a Transformers movie, you might have, Transformers, and then another movie come out around the same time called Transfer Bots or something crazy, something dumb like that, Formers or something. Okay, and Roboformers or something. Okay, and then and so people will see that, and they rely on the marketing of Transformers, and that movie will be, the production budget will be $1 million or even $500,000, and if they make $750,000 on a $500,000 budget, I mean, they've made money. So this is still coming from a large studio, but because of its budget, it still made money, even though it only made $36 million, which, again, smaller budgets is basically what Hollywood needs to be getting to. Just like how at Mike's After X Reviews, we're always trying to slash things and make videos shorter and more streamlined. Hollywood needs to cut the budgets so that way they have room to make money. All right, so that one did well. Congratulations to those guys. Let's jump into February. So Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, released on the PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S. Now, I will tell you guys, we have not gotten the review out for that yet. It's a big game. I've been playing through a lot of it. I have the review ready. Basically, I'm going to be recording it here shortly, and you guys will be getting it soon. And by the time that this is released, some of these releases will have come out as we get into the later months here for the last quarter. And I apologize sometimes, guys. I get delays. There's been a lot going on in my life that have kind of messed up a couple of things. So, but anyway, so Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S. It's released on February 4th, 2025, developed by Warhorse Studios, published by Deep Silver. So, the critical reception is as follows. IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. PC Gamer gave it a 90%. Metacritic gave it an 88. User score, for Metascore, and a user score of 8.6. I'm going to tell you, I think the game is excellent. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Game of the Year contender. Probably it's going to be a Game of the Year contender. I wouldn't be surprised if it won. There's a couple of other games, including Split Fiction, which we're going to talk about here in a second. That one is also, I could see being a Game of the Year contender, and I would not be surprised if it won. But it's very good. It's a very good game. So go check it out. I loved the first one. It has an interesting story. It was an indie developer, but the game got so big and was so popular that they got picked up and now they're basically a AA or, well, it's probably say AAA studio, honestly, or at least they're on their way to it. They make games that are AAA quality, so there you go. So profitability from PCGamer.com on March 19th, 2025. We already know that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was a big hit for developer Warhorse Studios. The game vaulted over 1 million sales on its first day of launch before galloping toward 2 million copies sold by the end of February. So we don't have the production values of most video games, but this one, we'd already, yeah, it was a big hit. It was such a big game. People were waiting for it to come out and waiting for it to come out because the first game was so good. It had some issues. The first game had some issues, but it was still an amazing, excellent, great game. All right, so let's check it out. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Came out for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. Now, this is basically like an over-the-top version of Saints Row and GTA kind of combined, is my understanding. I haven't played the games, but I hear they're really great, and they have a great following. So, if you like the games, let's check out and see what other people thought about them and if this one made any money. So, it was released on February 21st, 2025, developed by Ryuga Gotaku Studio, published by Sega. Its critical reception was as follows. So IGN gave it an 8 out of 10, The Gamer gave it a 9 out of 10, and the Metacritic scores were Metascore of 79 and user score of 8. Sounds like a very solid entry. An 8, guys, is still basically an excellent, could be an above average depending on how you look at it, but those are solid scores, so that's great to see, as these long-running series usually decline in quality and have been declining in quality in recent years. Look at the Halo franchise, for example. Great to see them keeping up the momentum and, continuing to give their fans what they want. So then, as far as profitability from GameRant.com on February 23rd, 2025, the launch of Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii may currently be tracking behind Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, at least on PC, according to several early indicators. However, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii still seems to be performing well, especially on PlayStation, seeing how Infinite Wealth was the biggest Steam launch in the history of the Like a Dragon franchise. The fact that its follow-up failed to match its user metrics doesn't mean it's not a success. According to an average of estimates from VG Insights, PlayTracker, and Gamealytic, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii has sold around 93,000 Steam copies in its first few days on the market. The same sources estimate that Infinite Wealth's lifetime Steam sales are presently in the ballpark of 565,000. Sega previously said that Infinite Wealth sold 1 million copies across all platforms in its first week on the market. For context, the entire Like a Dragon franchise surpassed 20 million lifetime sales in late 2024. So, you're talking about Infinite Wealth sold 5% of the entirety of the copies sold in the lifetime of the entire franchise. This game, and it was the best-selling game of the franchise. This game comes in after. It's hard to follow, something like that. It's still a success, but it's not as good as the one before it. Or I should say, actually, you should flip that in the way that you phrase it. It's not as good as the one before it in the series, but it's still a great success. There you go. Okay, so then moving on to the movies. So Captain America Brave New World, I did a review of it with Mike, other Mike, and you get to see him behind me as the Red Hulk, because he's a perfect example that he was a colonel in the army, and he was a lieutenant colonel in the army. Just to be fair, no, that's still a high rank to get to, but and so that's really cool because it wasn't a general, but still he was a high-ranking officer, and he looks like Harrison Ford. More than I do, anyway. So the movie was released on February 14th, 2025. It was produced by... So the production companies were Marvel Studios, and the director was Julius Ona. So the critical reception is as follows. So 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb. The Rotten Tomato score is top critics of 33%, all critics 48%. Audience score was verified at 78%, and all audiences were 73%. Metascore of 42, and the user score was 4.7. Now, I'll tell you, I think that the critics here, it's interesting because they really didn't like the movie. I think that I'm more along the lines of a mix between the Metascore, the Metacritic scores and the audience scores for Rotten Tomatoes. I think that the movie was just bland. It wasn't bad or terrible. It's just bland. It's the MCU going in a direction of, we've talked about how the ship is here. And we've gone, MCU was like peak up here, and then we kind of gone down. Now the ship can go up. It looked like it might have been priming itself to go this way, but it seems like it's either going just kind of coasting or maybe going down like this a little bit with a movie like this. It's just bland. The characters aren't interesting. It's not the characters we want to see. Basically, Captain America in this movie was like a combination amalgam of Captain America, not even Captain America. He was an amalgamation of Falcon, Black Panther, and Ant-Man almost in some of the ways that he is. But the thing is that a big problem that they're having also is that he doesn't have the super soldier serum. He should have taken the super soldier serum. Anyway, we won't get into a review here. Go check out our review on the channel, okay? So, as far as profitability goes, let's check it out. So we've got the Brave New World budget has been reported by trade outlets like Variety and The Hollywood Reporter as $180 million, but that seems low considering the reported at least 22 days of reshoots. And indeed, some well-sourced industry observers indicate that the final budget was significantly higher. According to The Hot Mic, the budget was in the range of $300 million, while Joanna Robinson and Dave Gonzalez, who wrote the book MCU: The Reign of Marvel Studios, have said their source pegged the movie at costing closer to $380 million. Bear in mind that there's also the matter of P&A, prints and advertising costs, which would be in the tens of millions at the very least, if not higher, for an MCU blockbuster. Variety pegs P&A for Brave New World at $100 million. And then there's the revenue split that the studio has to share share with theater owners. So to take the $300 million figure as an example, figure as an example. If that was the total cost for Marvel, then the common wisdom in Hollywood bookkeeping is that the film would need to make $600 million before the studio has even broken even. So, listen, guys. Again, bland. Critics didn't like it. Audiences, in some instances, thought it was okay, or, on the other hand, thought that it was bad as well. So think about this. They're going to say $180 million because it makes them look nicer, but because of those reshoots, that was the budget before the reshoots. Those reshoots probably did. I could see them making it all the way up to $380 million. But let's just be fair and give it a $300 million budget. Let's check it out. That means it needs to make $600 million to be profitable. Let's check it out. From boxofficemojo.com, domestically it made $200 million. Internationally it made $214 million, leaving it at the unfortunate worldwide box office of $414 million. It lost so much money no matter how you look at it. Even if it was $180 million, you double that for what it needs to make to break even. That's $360 million. That's before shooting. So even if the reshoots only cost it $50 million, which should probably cost them more, even if it did only cost $50 million, it still would have been a failure. Man, this is the state of the MCU, guys. This is the state of the MCU. Yeah, and it's funny because right after recording this, I'm gonna go see the Thunderbolts. That one isn't doing good in theaters, and we're gonna cover its box office numbers at the end, in the next quarter. But the MCU is not doing great. Okay, so the next movie for February is Riff Raff. So release date of February 25th, 2025. Its production companies were Canopy Media Partners, Signature Films, and Capstone Studios. It was directed by Dido Montiel. Its critical reception is as follows. IMDb gave it a 5.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, top critics gave it a 50%, all critics 59%, verified audiences gave it a 58%, and all audiences 67%. Metascore is 47, and the user score on Metacritic is 5.8. So basically, another mixed bag. Yeah, terrible. it sucks because this was a comedy about crime, like two hitmen with a great cast, and you hate to see it. It's got a star-studded cast, and Bill Murray, Stifler's mom, whose name I'm drawing a blank on, that guy who used to date Kim Kardashian, again, whose name I'm drawing a blank on. Hey guys, whatever you do, take care of your brains. I have early onset dementia. But Bill Murray too, though, I can't believe it. It's got a star-studded cast, but it didn't draw people in. So listen, I went to look up the production budget information. I didn't find it, which makes me think that it's a smaller production value, especially because it's a drama. So a lot of these drama pieces really aren't super, super expensive. So I don't know. But to tell you the truth, the box office numbers here don't bode well. From boxofficemojo.com, domestically it made $1.8 million. Internationally, it made $52,000. Leaving it with a worldwide box office of $1.9 million. Terrible. It might have been, I don't know, because we don't have production value, but I imagine with Bill Murray and all of the other actors that are in it, it had to have cost way more. Like it might not have even met its production budget cost. Forget about the fact that you should double the production budget cost to break even. So that's yeah. So February, not the best month. Okay, so then let's get into March, which actually, to tell you the truth, I really loved. Had a great time in March, that's for sure. March was, first video game was Split Fiction, released on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. It was released on March 6th, 2025, developed by Haze Light Studios and published by Electronic Arts. So it's brought to you by the same people that gave you It Takes Two. It Takes Two did take Game of the Year. And I didn't play it. It was a sleeper hit for me. Like for me, anyway, I was doing other things. Okay, so then the critical reception. IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. PCGamer.com gave it an 87. Metacritic gave it a Metascore of 91. User score of 8.9. I loved the game. I played it with Tommy Boy. It was so much fun. So much fun. And you will find out all about it in our review, which is forthcoming. Again, I had a lot of things going on that delayed me in getting all of my stuff out this quarter. Like a lot. Delayed me a lot. Okay, so then as far as profitability. So from IGN.com on March 13th, 2025, Haze Light Games says that its latest co-op adventure game, Split Fiction, is continuing its roaring start after selling 2 million copies in just 1 week. The team's previous update on Split Fiction sales numbers revealed that a whopping 1 million players picked up Mio and Zoe's sci-fi story only 48 hours after its initial launch. That means another million have each picked up a copy in the 5 days since. That is awesome. I really like the game. So I know it's co-op only, so you need another player. Find another player. If you buy it on Steam, if you buy it, I think it's cross-platform. Doesn't matter if it is or not, because find someone to play it with. Because if you buy it, only one person needs to own it, and I'm pretty sure it's cross-platform. It's recommended for controller though, so you can buy it on PC. Use a controller for it. But it was very good, and it's so cool that if one person buys it, the other person can play for free by connecting with them. You have to download a free version of it that won't let you play it by yourself. It's just like a launcher for you to be able to play with other people who own the game. Yeah, awesome, great thing. It's like Battle.net. Battle.net used to be that way back when Warcraft 3 came, or Warcraft 2 came out. Warcraft 3 came out. One person could own the game and play with other friends. Okay, so anyway, let's check out the next one. So Assassin's Creed Shadows. Hugely controversial Assassin's Creed game about, basically, it was going to be a black samurai and a black samurai and then a Japanese samurai and Yasuke. Everybody tried to argue that Yasuke was this great legendary samurai when basically even Japanese historians came out and said that he wasn't, and he was mentioned in history in about a sentence worth of writing. And everybody over here in the West are stupid white people who are trying to basically colonize their culture. that whole controversy is really stupid in my opinion. Everybody should just leave Japanese historians to tell them how it is. And then there was a Japanese assassin as well who was female, which is fine. She's great addition. I think they changed up the game so that way it was more about her than it was Yasuke, this black samurai. Yes, but let's check out what people are saying about it. So Assassin's Creed Shadows, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, released on March 20th, 2025, developed by Ubisoft Quebec and published by Ubisoft. So its critical reception, IGN gave it an 8 out of 10, GameSpot gave it an 8 out of 10, and Metacritic had a Metascore of 81 and a user score of 6.3. Those are solid numbers for Assassin's Creed. Again, Assassin's Creed is one franchise that has been just limping, okay, for a while. Black Flag was its peak, and it's been going downhill since there, basically. There's always going to be the fanboys who like the open world aspect. They pay $70 for a game, and they have a game that, while it's not always the greatest experience, there's a lot to experience. So yeah, it's like going to a fancy restaurant where you pay $500 for a plate, or, you know, whatever, $200 for a plate, and they bring you this much steak. And then you go to another place, you know, that sells you a steak that maybe is much lower quality, may not taste as good as that $200 plate of steak like that, but the steak you get is like this big. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. I would imagine that even if the game's quality were lower, and I've actually heard that it wasn't great, you're still going to get those inflated numbers just simply from it being a long-running franchise and fans of it coming in and excusing some of the problems we might have. But I didn't play it, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. So, profitability from IGN.com on April 23rd, 2025. Assassin's Creed Shadows debuted last month to become the best-selling game in the US for March 2025 in dollar sales. Shadows saw the second highest day one sales revenue in Assassin's Creed franchise history, behind only Valhalla, the biggest Ubisoft day one ever to the PlayStation Store, and has seen over 40 million hours played so far. So again, huge sales numbers, a dip in quality, at least perceived by me from what I've seen gauging people online and what they're saying about it. And basically that's going to allow developers to continue to make games lower and lower quality incrementally and become lazy, hire less people to make the game better, hire less expensive people, and that sucks. You know, quality going down sucks, especially when, you know, you got to hit them in their wallets, guys. Don't buy. I don't know how this game was. Maybe it's the best game ever made. Fine, but universally, a universal truth here is that if a game is bland, don't buy it because of loyalty to IP. If a game is bad, don't buy it because of a loyalty to the franchise. Don't buy it, because if you don't buy it, then the developer comes back and says, the next one we make has got to be really good, because it's got to make up for the bad one. That's what's about to happen, what people are thinking is going to happen with Bethesda, because Fallout 4 was good, Fallout 76 was terrible on launch. They've said that it's been better since it's been updating, but most people have already left. Starfield was terrible on launch, and just it felt empty. It was really bad. Nobody liked it. So the next one's got to be great, because they've got to make up for it. So anyway, yeah, so that was video games. Let's talk about movies. Now, Mickey 17 released on, this is an interesting movie, Robert Pattinson. It's about cloning. Release date, it was released on March 7th, 2025. Produced, so the production companies were Kate Street Picture Company and Warner Bros. Pictures. Directed by Bong Joon-ho. Critical reception. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this. I went and saw this movie. I didn't do a review of it. I'm going to tell you my thoughts, though, here. So, from IMDb, critical reception, 6.9 out of 10. Top critics gave it a 74%. All critics gave it a 77%. The verified audience gave it 73%. All audience gave it a 68%. Metacritic gave it a Metascore of 72 and user score of 6.2. I think this movie was bland, waste of potential with its acting talent and its concept. I think the reason it was that way, like I was disappointed seeing it. I would not have recommended going and seeing it in the theaters. I would say, streaming, fine. $5 rental, fine. But do not go see this in theaters. Don't waste your money on it. Or maybe not even $5, like $3.99 maybe, which is basically $4. Anyway, I'm just saying, this should have been released to streaming somewhere because the movie had a good concept. It kind of marketed itself as a comedy, but it really wasn't funny. It was more of just a drama piece, and then some of the nonsensical stuff that may have been there where they were trying to be funny, wasn't funny. Now, Bong Joon-ho had Parasite, which was lauded. I didn't see Parasite, honestly, and I need to. I know. You're going to tear me apart in the comments, but Bong Joon-ho was considered this great director because of Parasite, and then you see a movie like this, and it almost makes me think, was Parasite a fluke, or was this movie the fluke? And I'm not sure. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But as far as its profitability, let's check it out. So Mickey 17 has only generated around half of Parasite's global haul so far, with $43 million domestically and another $77 million from overseas markets. The film's cumulative global gross stands at $121 million. Mickey 17 reportedly cost $120 million to produce. Wait, its gross stands at $121 million, and it reportedly cost $120 million to produce, making it Bong's most expensive film. It premiered at the Berlin Film Festival before being launched in Bong's home country of Korea, where it has generated a total of $20 million. But no amount of spinning can project Mickey 17 as a hit. So from Box Office Mojo, so at that time, on March 30th, it had hit $121 million. $120 million, excuse me. And then from boxofficemojo.com, domestically, which was like a week ago, I took these numbers. A couple days ago. So from boxofficemojo.com, $46 million domestically, internationally, $85 million, leaving a worldwide box office $131 million. So that's another thing. People who watch the promotional material probably weren't interested, right? Because that's how you get people to come to movies. All right, well, then what it tells you about the review scores, which are higher than I think the movie deserves. I think it probably deserves around a 50%, maybe even less than a 50%. What that tells me is not a lot of people saw it, so the sample pool of, your sample size is smaller, meaning that probably the people who are in that sample size who dragged themselves out to theaters, like put in the effort to go see this movie and paid for it, they're probably people who were more predisposed to like it because of the actors in it, what it appeared to be in the, like what it was in the promotional material, and the director. But it was a terrible, it barely made it past its production budget, and then you have to think of marketing, and so it probably lost a huge amount of money. Okay, so then the second movie in March was Snow White. Hugely controversial because of Rachel Zegler. Basically that's the whole thing. Hugely controversial because of Rachel Zegler. Released on March 21st, the production company was Walt Disney Pictures, and it was directed by Mark Webb. The critical reception is as follows. Are you guys ready? This is Hollywood, baby. IMDb gave it a 1.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes top critics say 29%. All critics give it a 40%. Verified audiences give it a 72%. All audiences give it a 19%. Metacritic, Metascore is 50. User score, 1.2. Now let me tell you something. When you have IMDb giving it a 1.6 top and all critics on Rotten Tomatoes giving it a 40 to 30%, and then user scores on Metacritic giving a 1.2, I'm going to tell you this movie seems absolutely just freaking terrible. This is not review bombing. People always say whenever a movie gets a bad review score or a game gets a bad review score, nobody ever says, well, the movie wasn't good or the game wasn't good. No, they say it's review bombing. I don't believe that. I think it's very highly likely that this movie was a giant pile of dog crap. And I didn't go see it because I was just like, everybody's going to rag on this movie. What more do I have to say about the movie other than it's bad, just like everybody else is going to say? So I didn't go see it. And plus, who wants to pay to go see a bad movie? It's so discouraging. It's so discouraging how bad movies are getting nowadays. But as far as its profitability, let's check it out. From Variety.com on December 4th. March's live-action Snow White has been dogged by expensive reshoots and controversies related to star Rachel Zegler's social media posts. The actress declined to take down a tweet thread that promoted the $240 million movie with a Free Palestine postscript, but did apologize for a, excuse my language, Donald Trump. And many Trump supporters never know peace Instagram post. Wading into divisive issues, as Zegler has done, isn't part of Disney's new playbook. Do not attack your own fans, your own customers. I own my own business outside of Mike's After Action Reviews. It's called MAARs Media. We do video stuff. We do advertising, marketing, whatever. Web design, a bunch of different stuff. I have never had a customer come to me and ask me for a product or service, like ask me about a product or service that we sell, and then I insulted them and told them that they're terrible because of what they believe or who they are, because that would be stupid. Well, that's Hollywood, baby. Check this out. From Box Office Mojo, domestically it made $85 million. Internationally, it made $114 million, and worldwide $200 million. Now, that means the movie was a $240 million movie, probably before reshoots. It needed $480 million based on that number to break even. Plus, with the reshoots, it probably needed even more. So think about like a $500 to $600 million break even point, and the movie made $200 million. Goodbye, Rachel Zegler. Get the hell out of here. Just that's that's Hollywood, baby. Stop attacking your fans. Take their criticisms. There have been Disney movies and Marvel just Marvel, but then also just the Disney movies. There's been a couple of movies that have come out recently where people have said, this looks like it's going to be bad, and then it was good. Or this looks like it might not be the best, and then, even if it was like mediocre, or maybe even better than mediocre, you still aren't shooting yourself in the foot when the actors, because like the Little Mermaid actress didn't come out and attack fans when people said, well, it kind of sucks because Hollywood is replacing all white people that have red hair with black people. I'm not really commenting on, I'm just saying what people said. That girl did not come out and say, well, you guys are terrible, and launch a huge campaign into political stuff and telling fans that they suck. And so when the movie came out, it didn't do well. It was considered not so great, but it wasn't hurt by what that lady said. And if that lady had attacked the fans like Rachel Zegler did, it wouldn't have helped. Stop. Rachel Zegler, listen to me. I'm a small YouTuber. I've got 1,300 subscribers. I'm a nobody. I'm a nothing. But even I know, don't attack your fans. So, that is the 2025 first quarter releases. I hope you guys... I've been told that you guys have really liked the box office numbers. I do it differently. Basically, I go over these quarterly numbers differently than other channels do, so I hope that you really like that. If you do, leave me a comment down below letting me know that. And like the video, subscribe to get more box office numbers. And if this becomes popular enough, guys, we can do more of this. I can do these every month. Maybe just do like a weekly update on the releases for the week. Just shorter ones too. Let me know. So let's move on to the next section here. What I am currently working on. Basically, we've got a couple of irons in the fire. So we've got the Split Fiction, the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Actually, it's just those. The Split Fiction review and the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 reviews are coming out. I kind of alluded to this before, but basically what happened is, so my father was diagnosed with cancer, and also we were looking for a house, so we're closing on a house, and I have been, basically I put the channel into maintenance mode. We were doing the weekly trailers with Mike, and there was a lot going on, so getting certain, stuff done was pretty hard. And then this is a little bit behind because of that, this quarterly action update. But one of the reasons that this action update is kind of so late, and action updates are going to start being a little later than you might expect, is because the Snow White movie came out, and we wanted to make sure that we gave that movie enough time to make its full, box office run, so we can get accurate numbers for that, instead of having the movie come out and then it be maybe 2 weeks and we already do the action update on that movie's numbers. Okay, so next action update, we're going to wait for the end of the quarter, and then we're going to wait about a month, and then the action update will actually come out just over 30 days after the quarter ends. So this action update is being filmed on the 7th, and that's a little later than I would like to be filming. I want to be filming about the 1st or the 2nd, and then get it out to you guys before the end of that week. So I appreciate all your guys' patience with that. This has probably been the most stressful and hardest time right now for the channel, for myself anyway, relating to the channel and getting things done. Another thing is that, and I want to mention this because I want to know what you guys think. I think I'll make this into a little short video or something. But I've been really discouraged. I've been getting a little bit discouraged with the entertainment industry right now. Oblivion came out. That was great. And I'm not going to do a review on that. But it came out. It was great. And other than that, though, every time that a good movie comes out, it's a surprise. And when a good video game comes out, like a really, really good video game like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Split Fiction, like those two videos came out and they were great. And it was a surprise how well they were. Well, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I think, was fine. But the Kingdom Come Deliverance franchise is basically from an independent studio, and it's a huge upset. It's a huge surprise. Split Fiction, I knew was going to be good, but I didn't realize that it was going to be as good as it was. And it's just discouraging. Let me know what you're thinking about it in the comment section down below. I think that we're coming to a point where lower budget movies, now not super low, but I just mean smaller budget movies and independent and AA video games are the future here, because the AAA games are so corporate that they're not good, and then also their budgets are so inflated that they're not sustainable. So that just kind of sucks. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Another thing is that, so as I said, Oblivion came out. And what we would like to start doing is more video game news, like more actual news instead of just the box office numbers and the video game performance and reviews and stuff. We would really like to start doing entertainment news, like an entertainment news section in case you missed it. So it would kind of be like the last quarter reviews and releases and box office numbers, and then another section where we talk about like actual news, and we can say things like, oh, in case you missed it. So like the Elder Scrolls, Bethesda did a really great thing with the Elder Scrolls Oblivion a remaster release, because basically they showed the trailer and then they said available today, and it was amazing and super cool because it was kind of rumored that they were gonna release a remaster. We didn't know when, and then they just released it, which is awesome. So that's pretty cool. Another thing that's going on right now is that Tommy Boy, we finally convinced him. He's now a dedicated streamer, so he's been streaming most days. And he's on Twitch. We're on YouTube. Mike's After Action Reviews. Go check Tommy Boy out. He's trying to build his own audience. We have a very, very healthy plan as far as what we are, like how we're profit sharing. So he's going to be, right now he's going to be getting 100% of all of his own earnings from the streams. And then as we move forward and we start making more and more money, we're gonna cut ourselves in instead of trying to cut him in on those earnings. So I really like the idea of being able to do that. We would like to be a platform for streamers. Like I would like to be a platform for streamers to partner with. so that way they can earn money, and then we earn a little bit of money too. And it's a cool thing. There's a lot of smaller people who have really great skills and are really entertaining to be around and really entertaining to watch, that just they're not monetized, so they don't. They're not monetized, so they don't get the audience and even the monetization, the money that they deserve. Yeah. So just letting you guys know as well, we are almost to the threshold. Our next payout from YouTube is going to be the payout in which we take the money and do the cash giveaway. So watch for that, because that's coming. We're hoping by next quarter. Yeah, like by the next action update, we will be doing an announcement. If we reach that threshold, we'll do an announcement. It'll be on Twitch instead of doing what we've done in the past where people leave comments on YouTube. We're actually going to do an announcement of the day, and then we're going to go live on Twitch. We're going to sit around, we're going to talk, we're going to do a little bit, and then eventually at that point we're going to say, hey, cash giveaway right now, we're doing it, and then we're going to do it right then, so people will get their money right away, or be selected to get the money right away. All right, so let's get into the next thing here. So moving forward now, as we move throughout the year, this is a big, thick, it doesn't look, I guess you can't necessarily see it, but it's pretty thick. Moving forward, though, as we get into the year, this is going to become smaller and smaller and smaller because we're going to be getting new information. Oh, actually, one thing before we get into the 2025 releases. So moving and so basically, I was just going to say though, as we move into the moving forward section here, this is going to get smaller and smaller because we're going to have gone through the year and there's going to be less releases ahead, moving ahead of us. So already talked about wanting to get more into the entertainment news section. Just letting you guys know. So Tommy Boy is the dedicated streamer. He's going to earn 100% of his earnings from the live streams. And we're always looking for more streamers or writers. So check us out. We got the written reviews, the action reports at mikesafteractionreviews.com. We will pay for that. We will pay you for that. Send me an email. Excuse me. Ooh. Mike's at mikesafteractionreviews.com. Would love to have people, use their voice and maybe earn a little bit of money while doing it. If you would like to be a streamer, if you're currently a small-time streamer and you want to earn some money doing that, maybe build up an audience for yourself and then even migrate onto your own thing, we can do it. Like let me know. We can hook you, plug you into our streaming platforms, and you can earn some money from the audience that we bring, and then you can kind of bring, try to grow your own audience as well as part of the, Mike's After Action Reviews, consortium, the group here. Okay. So make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. As always, guys, right now we're at just over 1,300 subscribers. As we get bigger and bigger and bigger, we get biggening and biggening and biggening. Or biggering? I don't know. It's from the Lorax. We can do better things. So that's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's get into our last section here. So we're going to talk about releases coming out later this year that are confirmed. We're going to talk about releases that we've been waiting for. It's going to be great. Let's do this. So we have in April. Now, I know that it's already April was last month, but we're just going over this. We're going to go over all of the numbers and information on these properties in the next quarter's update. And again, the reason we're doing that is so that way we can give it enough time to get to the final sales numbers, the final box office numbers, all that stuff. So, April, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered released for Windows, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S on April 22nd. It was developed by Virtuos Paris and Bethesda Softworks, and it was published by Bethesda Softworks. And what's interesting is that they basically took Unreal Engine 5 and put it over the Creation Engine with different graphics and stuff, and that's how they remastered it. There are still the bugs and stuff, but a lot of those bugs were actually pretty cool to mess around with, and led us to being able to have exploits like the duping exploit. When the game first came out. So it still holds its spirit. Spirit intact. Also, you get all the DLCs, and the Shivering Isle DLC is one of the best DLCs for anything. Downloadable content packages for anything that I've ever. Go check it out. Okay, so the next thing. So Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, released for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. That had a really good cast of voice actors and stuff, so I'm excited to check that out at the end of the quarter, so that way we can see how it performed. So it was released on April 24th, developed by Sandfall Interactive and Kepler Interactive. We had the Minecraft movie, which I haven't done a review of. I think I'm going to do a rapid action review. I can get everything I want to get into in a rapid action review, I believe, and we will I liked the. I'll just tell you, I liked the movie. We'll talk about it. I'll put out some information. If you haven't seen it yet, you're probably not going to go see it in theaters right now, but wait for streaming, get the DVD. I'm still a guy who gets DVDs, so yeah. But it was released on April 4th, 2025. The production companies were Legendary Pictures, Warner Bros., and it was directed by Jared Hess. We had Until Dawn, which I hear actually did not do very well, but we'll get into those numbers at a later date. Released on April 25th. The production companies were Coin Operated and Sony Pictures Releasing, and directed by David F. Sandberg. Okay, so then we have May. Now, this is where we're getting into it, because we're currently in May, and basically I'm trying to get all the all of the reviews recorded and almost basically released before the 13th of May. So Doom the Dark Ages, coming out for PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. If you didn't know, it's being released on May 13th. It's coming at us from id Software, and it's being published by Bethesda Softworks. We have I'm excited about it. I've heard that it's really good. It's got, so if you don't know, the narrative is actually in the game. So Doom Eternal was less narratively driven than I kind of liked, and it was honestly, it was kind of confusing because of Doom 2016 and then Doom Eternal, which was supposed to actually lead into Doom Eternal, and it was like, whoa, like what happened with the narrative there? And I like I like a story-driven game. This was more of an action-driven game, but that's okay. The game was really great. I'm excited for Doom the Dark Ages because it looks like it's going to be like you're playing through a story with the Doom characters. That's awesome. Okay, so then we have Dune Awakening. We got some news for you guys. Dune Awakening, it's got a new release date, so it was pushed back to June. So we'll talk about that in June. As far as movies, so we've had May 2nd, 2025, The Thunderbolts asterisk came out from Marvel Studios and Walt Disney Motion Pictures, and it was released by it was directed by Jake Schreier. I went and watched it. Tommy Boy went and watched it, and we're gonna do a review probably this weekend. And I liked it. Go check it out, guys. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Can't wait to see what the numbers are. I'll be honest with you, I do know that the numbers aren't great, but really, actually, the movie is really, the review scores and stuff are really good from audiences. Audiences are loving it. I think if they were to keep going in this way, we might get something good moving forward with the Marvel movies. Okay, so Final Destination Bloodlines, releasing May 16th, 2025, from New Line Cinema and Warner Bros. Pictures. It's being directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein. Don't know much about it, honestly, other than it's got the actor who plays Death, whose name I can't remember right now. He is, it's like Tony Todd. So he passed away, and this is his last movie, and so a lot of people are basically saying like rest in peace. Had a good run and all of that, but this one looks cool. The promotional material we've seen has looked pretty good, so go check that out. It's the next one in the franchise. So awesome. And then we have for June, Dune Awakening releasing on PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Linux, and Microsoft Windows. So it was supposed to release in May, and it's been pushed back here. I'm sure that they're trying to polish it and everything, and I'll add maybe some new features, making sure that they all work properly. Okay. It's got a PC release, and there is no date for consoles right now. The production was developed by Funcom and also developed and published by Funcom. So check that out. We've got Death Stranding 2 on the Beach releasing on the PS5 on June 24th, 2025. Developed by Kojima Productions Company and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. That's going to be a really interesting sequel because a lot of people loved the first one. I skipped out on it because it was one of those games where you're either going to really love it because it is really good, or you're going to not be interested and not like it, kind of hate it because it's a weird experience to play. You basically play a delivery man, and I was just, I'm sure that's great if you get into it. The effort to get into it and everything, I want a more accessible game. We'll put that. If you disagree with me and you think that maybe I missed the boat, I should have checked it out. Let me know in the comment section down below. Like is it not accessible, or is it accessible? Like and there's been people who've admitted it is a goofy game. Like, there is some stuff that you're going to have to get over to like it, depending on how you are. Is that not true, or is that true? Let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, so then we have Ballerina. Now, this is the thing that's funny, is because the movie is Ballerina, but I think they had to have... I don't know if they officially changed the title, or if they were just putting it... Like, if the title was always officially Ballerina, and then they just... changed the way the promotional material was, but this was from the world of John Wick, Ballerina. It's Ana de Armas. This movie is releasing on June 6th. It's being brought to us by Quad Films and Lionsgate Films, and directed by Len Weissman. Now, it's Ana de Armas. They've already ruined it and showed that Keanu Reeves is going to be in the movie, but it basically takes place during John Wick 3, and I'm not sure how they're going to do that. If it takes place after, like during and after, or if you see the promotion materials, it looks like some of it is either happening after John Wick 3 or having been seen before John Wick 3. So, I don't know. Okay, so then we have How to Train Your Dragon, and I am fully... committed to seeing this movie. It's releasing June 13th, 2025. Coming at us from DreamWorks Animation and Universal Pictures, being directed by Dean Dubois. Now, I was skeptical because a lot of these live-action remakes have problems. There's some race swapping going on, which is not a problem in itself, but it's usually a dog whistle for there being gonna be problems. And I hope that it all works out. I hope. I'll just say that. I liked the animated movies, and I hope that I like this one too. Okay, so in July, there are no game releases that I am, at least not ones that I'm super interested in. If you have games in July that you would like to know more about after they release, or you think that I should consider playing and reviewing, let me know in the comment section down below. But as far as movies, we've got some interesting stuff. So, Jurassic World Rebirth, releasing July 2nd, 2025, from Amblin Entertainment and Universal Pictures, being directed by Gareth Edwards. Now, honestly, it's not exactly a return to form or anything. It doesn't look like it, but it's Scarlett Johansson. She's a mercenary protecting this guy, and they're doing some kind of medical research. They need to get some samples from the dinosaurs. Now, but I will tell you, it's not Jurassic World. I think the biggest problem with Jurassic World is that Jurassic World was about the theme park, and then it was about nothing. No, it was about the theme park. It was about a house where a biologically engineered raptor was trying to get them, and then the third one in the Jurassic World series was them, you know, in this facility, but it was more so about the human characters more than anything else. And then this one looks like it's going to be a little bit of a return to form with people basically going to like an island or going somewhere. I mean, it is the island, but basically going to like a secluded place, even in the one where it was New York, and they're just running away from dinosaurs. There's not really any other real objective here than to get away from the dinosaurs. They are doing some things, but the biggest challenge that they're going to overcome is getting away from dinosaurs, not dealing with other people, or trying to go kill some super dinosaur or something. Okay, so that, and I already said July 2nd, so go check that out. Then we have probably one of the most pivotal movies for superhero movies that we've had in a long time. The thing about this movie is that while there have been some big movies like Deadpool and Wolverine in the past, there wasn't as much anticipation. People weren't holding their breath to see where superhero movies were going to go moving forward based on Deadpool and Wolverine, even though after it came out, people were like, oh man, if they keep going like this is going to be great. And that movie, by the way, that we're talking about right now is Superman, which is releasing on July 11th, 2025. It's coming out from Warner Bros. And being directed by Richard Donner. Now, James Gunn is the new kind of DC movie czar over there at Warner Bros. And we have had some controversies now. There's some things that have come out that are red flags about the movie. We hope that it is good. And I will tell you, by the way, the red flags that they're talking about is people go. Okay, I've had people say to me, "Oh, you're one of those guys that doesn't like wokeism, and you're one of those guys, and other people don't like wokeism, and these anti-woke people." Look, it's not about woke stuff, and I'll tell you why. This is a perfect illustration of that. We're all worried about this movie because it's about Superman fighting woke people online. You know, like the woke people trying to cancel him is one of the controversies that they've talked about. That's not confirmed or anything. It's like a leak. Now, if we were all anti-woke, if I was anti-woke, if all these other people were anti-woke, they would say, oh, yeah, this is great. But the thing is that it's not about being anti-woke. It's about being a good movie with good writing. And a lot of people are saying, if that's going to be a big part of this movie, we're not so much interested in that. Please don't do that. So we're watching for that. Okay. So that's releasing on the 11th. And then we have another movie that, again, people are holding their breath and seeing. So that's Superman is for DC. This other movie is people are holding their breath and going, how's Marvel going to be doing here in the future now? And that movie is Fantastic Four First Steps, releasing on July 25th, coming at us from Marvel Studios and being directed by Matt Shakman. Now, here's the deal. Thunderbolts came out, and everybody has been loving it. It's not a lot of people have been going to see it, though, so please go see it. Okay. I would say that if they went with Thunderbolts as being the kind of template for where they want to go moving forward, they've got themselves a good base to build out the MCU, basically rebuild out the MCU, because it's just crumbled. And it's interesting because it wasn't like some big thing that happened and everybody went, oh, well, there's the end of the MCU. It's just been crumbling over time. I won't spoil anything for the movie, but I'll just say I think that they've done a good job if they were to build off of just that one movie. Like if they just get that everything within that one movie and move it forward here, they'd have a good base. Now that's my opinion since seeing the movie, and I don't know how other people have reacted now and changed their opinions about things. But before Thunderbolts came out, people were basically just disregarding it, saying, it's probably not going to do well, it's not going to be a good movie, and we're going to be waiting for Fantastic Four First Steps. Fantastic Four First Steps, I will tell you, has had some controversies. Now, again, I just told you that people who are supposed to be the anti-woke crowd are worried about Superman because it's got some fighting the woke stuff in it that nobody wants to see. This movie looks like it's going to have some woke stuff that nobody wants to see, and that's going to suck. Silver Surfer's a female in it. We've seen that in the promotional material. I don't know, even if they can explain, this is what I was saying about Predator Badlands as well, which we're going to get into, but even if they can explain why that's like that, that doesn't mean that people are going to like that it is like that, that there's a female Silver Surfer. So, okay. Let's get into August, the month of my birth. All the best things happen in August, except for huge movie releases, I guess, because there's not a bunch of huge things coming out, except Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, coming out for PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, being released on August 26th, developed by Konami, and also published by Konami. So I need to get myself better at reading those both at the same time so I can say the proper way. That sounds better. Developed and published by Konami. But okay, great game, being totally remade. And it looks like it's going to be awesome. I played the original. It's a really great game. I don't think that there's anything that I need to go review it for. It's going to be awesome because the first game, the original game, was awesome, and the remaster looks awesome and amazing, and I actually mean that. Like, it literally fills me with awe to look at how it is, because you compare it to what it was to what it is now. It's awesome. Okay, what they can do nowadays. So no reason for me to review it. I already know it's going to be great because the original was great. Unless they make some stupid change, then we might talk about it, but it won't necessarily lead me to doing a review, because I don't, to play through the game, to experience a couple of controversial things. Yeah. Okay, so then we have The Nightling. It is releasing on August 28th. Developed by Twirlbound and Saber Interactive. I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. It's probably going to be the game for August, though, so I've avoided any news or anything about it, because this is the big one, like I said, for August. And we won't have anything in July. So, yeah, just realize... Yeah, but it looks interesting. Go check it out. It's going to release on the day before my birthday. So that's going to be cool. Then we've got movies. So, The Naked Gun, releasing August 1st. Coming at us from Paramount Pictures and being directed by Akiva Schaffer. Now, what I think is really awesome about this is that it is not a remake. It is seriously a cool sequel. And if you watch the trailer, it looks like it's just going to be fun. It looks like it's just going to be fun with Liam Neeson, and it's just, a comedy that is just a comedy. When is the last time that you saw a comedy, like just a comedy? There's not anymore. There's like Deadpool and Wolverine, action comedy. That's one thing, by the way, I want to say about the Thunderbolts too, is that it took itself very seriously. Deadpool and Wolverine did as well, kind of, but there was a lot of comedic stuff. So the Thunderbolts wouldn't be considered an action comedy, I don't think, that you would really consider it that, even if there are a few funny things that happen, like anything in life, some funny things happen and maybe you can kind of give it a little chuckle. But yeah, so we've had action comedies, we've had romantic comedies that are basically romance movies and not like romance dramas. A lot of romantic comedies are just romance dramas. They're not actually so funny. We've had... those are like the two biggest, okay, and it's really I'm really excited to see. This is going to be a slapstick comedy. If you don't know what that means that basically you're just going to be getting joke after joke after joke after joke. Everything's going to be a joke, and it's going to be a fun time. Honestly, I really like this stuff. And I like the original ones with Leslie Nielsen. And Leslie Nielsen died. I saw this as a comment, so I'm not taking credit for this, but somebody said, we want another Naked Gun movie. Get me Leslie Nielsen. And I was like, he died. Get me someone with as close a name to Leslie Nielsen as you can, because now it's Liam Neeson. It's funny. Okay, so then we have Nobody 2. It's releasing August 15th, 2025, coming at us from Universal Pictures, 87 North Productions, and Odenkirk Provisario Entertainment, and then being directed by Timo Tahanto, I think is how you pronounce that. It's Tjahjanto. Yeah, Timo Tahanto, or Timo Tahanto. I know I'm probably going to butcher your name. I've got a weird last name as well, so I totally get it. I thought that Nobody was going to be just like maybe one and done, but I liked Nobody a lot, and it was cool, and I brought my nephew. His mom got mad afterwards. She found, because she said, it's rated R, but like it was fine. It was just a and she said like, oh, they show torture and stuff, and I was like, no, there's no torture in it. It's just people shooting at each other. Anyway, I'm excited because I liked the first one. I want to see Odenkirk kind of taking on the action role, did a really good job, and I want to see what he can do the second time around. Then we have September. Now, in September, we don't have any ones that I'm so much interested in playing and reviewing, so I might do something else, or I might play one of these. Let me know in the comment section down below what I should do. But we have Hell Is Us releasing on the PC and PS5. It is releasing on September 4th. It's coming at us from Rogue Factor developer and being published by Nacon. Now, Nacon released RoboCop Rogue City, and that video game was way better than it had any right to be. And so now, so the thing is that you have like Bethesda, which has a long storied history of making all these great games, but in recent history they've been not the greatest. When I see a good game come out and then from a group, and then 6 months later they make another one, that makes me say, okay, well, now, like, within recent history, with the people that are currently there, they just released a great game, so probably this next game they release is gonna be great. So Hell Is Us looks like is kind of shaping up to be a pretty cool game. I might play it. That might be the September one. I'm not sure yet. Because the Nightling comes out on the 28th. So it's weird because we could do it's like the 28th, and then I have a few more days, and then Hell Is Us. So I'm probably not going to be done with the Nightling if I decide to do the Nightling, or I could just skip August and go right into Hell Is Us. We could do something where we do the Nightling and then the next game, which is Borderlands 4, releasing for PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S on the 23rd of September. So it would line up perfectly, and that is being developed by Gearbox Software and published by 2K. So September, Hell Is Us, Borderlands, and then Borderlands 4. There's been some controversies with not really controversies, just people have looked at the game and kind of said, I don't know. The characters don't look as interesting, so I don't know. Okay. But other than that, though, for September, we don't have any movies that I'm so much interested in. If there's movies that you're interested in, you want to hear about when the time comes, let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, so then October, we have Directive 8020, a Dark Pictures game, coming out for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and that is releasing on October 2nd. 2025, and see, I need to get something so I look like this, so it just looks nicer, so I can go like this instead of turning my head all the way down here. But yeah, it's being developed and published by Supermassive Games. So the Dark Pictures games are cool, great. I haven't played into the series yet. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. Is it something I should check out? Versus this next one, by the way, is so yeah, Dark Pictures 8020, October 2nd. Then we've got another game, Ghost of Yotai, releasing for the PlayStation 5 on October 2nd, being developed by Sucker Punch and published by Sony Pictures Interactive. I loved the first game, so I don't know how I feel about them doing the Ghost of Yotai with a new character. And those are my thoughts on it. I don't know. So should I do Dark Pictures game, or should I do... I'll probably do Ghost of Yotai, honestly. I played the first one. I really liked it. Sucker Punch did a good job with it. Maybe this next one. There's some things they're like, why did you change it from Jin Sakai to somebody else? Why did you... Because it was originally supposed to be a sequel with Jin Sakai. Why did you make it a female character? Look, there's nothing wrong with female characters, but in recent history, doing a race swap similar to the way they did this, I guess, is a dog whistle for like, oh, it's going to be political and it's going to be full of a bunch of stuff you don't want to play. So I hope that they do it right. That's all I really got. We've got some really interesting movies coming out in October. Tron Ares, releasing on October 10th, 2025. Now, I'll be on. So it's coming at us from Walt Disney Pictures and being directed by Joaquin Roning. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've seen the trailers, but I've avoided a lot of the news about this. So I don't know if it's going to be a reboot, if it's going to be a sequel to the last one we got. What was it, like 2012 or so? I forget exactly when that one came out. But it is going to have Jeff Bridges, the original Tron man himself, like from the original movies. And it looks really great, to be honest. The promotional material has been great. Yeah. I mean, and the score seems like it's gonna be cool. The music looks good. I'll be there. I'll be there, and I hope that it does well. And then maybe we can get some Tron stuff, because it's a great IP. And it's a cool, interesting idea, and they just haven't really done it justice in either movies or video games so far, in my opinion. Okay, so then we have Mortal Kombat 2 coming out on October 24th, 2025. It's coming at us from New Line Cinema, Atomic Monster, and being directed by Simon McQuoid. Now, I did not like the first one, and so one of two things happens. The first one is good, the second one... Now, okay, generally, because I do know that sometimes the sequel improves, like the Terminator movie, and then Terminator 2 is just really exploded and was awesome. But, generally what happens, most of the time anyway, is the first one is good, and then the second one is either like kind of equal but a little less, because at that point it's like a new movie series and maybe the magic wears off just a little bit, but it's basically objectively still just as good. Does that make sense? Okay. And then as the series goes on, it can go up and down or whatever. Or the first one is bad, a la Suicide Squad, and then they make the next one, and it has learned from its mistakes of the first one, and that one is really awesome. So this looks like there's potential for it to have learned its lesson from the first release, and they're going to make an actual good Mortal Kombat movie. We'll see. I hope. Okay, so, but November. Let's move on to November. No games, at least not that we know of yet. Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, let me know what you guys think I should check out. But then we have Predator Badlands, releasing on the 7th of November 2025, coming at us from 20th Century Studios and Dan Trachtenberg. Now, there are a lot of things that they appear to be doing with this movie that look really cool. A Predator protagonist, basically being followed around by an android. So I'd be careful about getting your hopes up, though, because while you might want a Predator protagonist, they have Elle Fanning coming in, and she's an android, a Weyland-Yutani android, which is a cool idea, but it looks like she's going to be really like the main protagonist and is going to be like an audience insert. And then the Predator is going to probably be the one doing a bunch of action and stuff, but it's really going to be us following her, who is following the Predator. Could still work, not a problem or anything. But that's most likely what it's going to be. There's some problems that I've seen, and people are all hopping on me going, oh, it's kind of like the Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four First Steps problem that I have, is like a female Silver Surfer. They may be able to explain why there's a female Silver Surfer. That doesn't mean that people are going to like it. And the Predator looks really bad. I think he looks bad. He does not, and even if you don't think he looks bad, I don't think it's debatable that he does not look half as cool as other Predators, basically every other Predator we've ever seen, ever. So, that's a problem. And even if they can and people say, well, you should read up on it, and you should find out, because there's a reason why he looks that way. The reason why doesn't matter. What matters is what it is. Think about the idea of, oh, well, I dressed really bad because of this reason. You still look bad. Basically what they're saying, we made the Predator bad, the Predator design terrible because of these reasons. Well, then don't do it that way. Write the movie different. People say, well, he's a young Predator. Then don't have him be a young Predator. Let's get the cool, badass Predator that we want in a movie. Come on, give us what we want. So I'm hoping, again, I hope it's good. And even if the thing is that even if the movie is really good at every other aspect, people are going to look back at this, and most likely, if they don't change it or anything, people are going to look back at this and go, yeah, that's the only the way the Predator looked is the only thing I hated about that movie. If you don't have to have something that people hate about your movie or dislike about your movie, then why have that thing? Why do that? Why not just make the perfect movie? Okay, so the next thing, though, is Running Man, releasing on the same day, November 7th, 2025. The Running Man. The Running Man. The Running Man. Coming at us from genre films and being directed by Edgar Wright. Now, look at, guys, if you don't know, The Running Man was an awesome movie a long time ago when Arnold Schwarzenegger was in his prime. And it was about Arnold Schwarzenegger going into an arena and fighting a bunch of not superpowered guys. Arnold Schwarzenegger was like a regular guy as a criminal. And it was like a dystopian world in the future. And if you're a criminal, sometimes they would give you the opportunity to go on this show called The Running Man. And basically what it was is they release you into a arena with all these guys who have like really cool gear and super tech. Like one guy can fly and he has a flamethrower, and the other guy is electric. He can shoot electricity with this technology, and then they just kill you, and you try to survive. That's the whole thing. And people watch it. It's like Rome. They distract people with this entertaining game of people getting mutilated. It's literally like the Colosseum. So it's pretty interesting. And I don't know. We'll see. I haven't really seen a whole lot about it, but I liked the original. And yeah, so maybe it'd be cool if they can reboot it. I don't know. Okay, then we've got December. Again, no games. Let me know what you guys think I should check out. But we have a pretty big movie release. I wasn't really impressed with the last one. So it's a big movie release because of name recognition, for me anyway, and IP. And that movie is Avatar, Fire and Ash. Being released on December 19th, 2025. Coming at us from 20th Century Studios. And director James Cameron. It's supposed to be about Na'vi that are like evil or maybe morally ambiguous in another sector of Pandora. So basically all of these movies are going to be like the Subnautica video game series. You're going to be in one spot, then we're going to move to a different location with like one spot with all these different types of animals, and you have to explore and all this stuff. That's the video game, but same idea of the movie. Okay, then we're going to move to another section of the same planet, and there's going to be basically the same frame of what it is, but there's going to be slightly different animals, and we're going to do a little bit of a different thing. So now we went from jungle to water. Now we're going to go to volcano and fire or whatever. And there's going to be some slightly different stuff. Probably this one will be the most different from the other two that we've gotten. Like, honestly, there wasn't that big of a difference between the first movie and the second movie. Maybe there'll be a huge difference between the wildlife and stuff that we get because it's going to be in, I don't know, mountains with fire or volcanic plains. I don't know what it's going to be, but I haven't heard a whole lot about it other than that it's going to be Na'vi that are kind of morally ambiguous, and it's going to be in a fireplace. So, fireplace. Some volcanic area on Pandora. I don't know how much money this movie needs to make, because there was like this confusing thing, and I'm not sure if they told the truth or if they lied to save face, but when Avatar, Way of the Water came out, it didn't do great at the box office. It was a super expensive movie, and they said that it needed to make $2 billion to break even, or $2 billion to make money or something, and it did not do that. And people were like, "Oh man, this is terrible." And then James Cameron came out and they said, "Well, actually, it's that we need to make $2 billion between both movies, the next three movies or something." Go check that out. Let me know in the comment section. But either way, it doesn't matter what the number is. I'm not sure if the last one just did really bad and didn't meet the mark that it needed to make money, or if James Cameron just basically tried to change the narrative to save face and say that the movie did well, because that's something that they do all the time. People in the movie industry do. So yeah, that's the story. Hopefully it's good. The thing is when I criticize promotional material or criticize kind of the ideas presented in these movies or video games, I want you to know I love good movies and video games. I'm here because I love movies and video games, and I hope that all of them are good. So yeah, guys, please realize that I want this to be good, even if I'm apprehensive. There's no reason to get mad at me for wanting something to be good, but also having a little bit of apprehension. Okay, so those are the confirmed releases that we have. Let's move on. This is a section that I really like. I take very seriously because I love new stuff. I want to see all the cool new stuff that's going to be coming out. And we have some announcements and some things that we don't have release dates for, but we have anticipation for these. So the first one, which we've been following for a while now, is The Wolf Among Us 2. It's going to release on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. We don't have anything new about it. I'm not going to go over these every time because of brevity, so go check out my last action update to be able to find out what's going on, any of the new information. But the last news we got on it was October 2024, and basically that said that we don't have a specific release date yet or anything. And that we're going to get back to you soon, and we just haven't gotten anything back. So that's going to be coming at us from Telltale Games, developed and published by them. And they're basically, they went out of business and then kind of came back. And and if they can get this one right, they might be okay. If they don't get this right, they're probably going to go out of business again and just be dead forever, is what people are speculating. The next one is one that is near and dear to my heart: Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Microsoft Windows, Xbox Series X, and Series S. I really liked the first one, the Bloodlines one, because there was Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, and I'll tell you, I tried to play that, and it wasn't a point and click, but you moved by clicking. There was no WASD or arrow keys to walk around, and that made it difficult for me because it's a third person, and I just couldn't really get into it. But this one has a new release window, and I did play the first Bloodlines game, which was great. It's still a great game now. You can get it on Steam. Go play the original. It's really cool. So we got a new release window. We don't get enough vampire stuff, and so I've been waiting for this. It's going to be developed by the Chinese Room, and that was previously Hardsuit Labs, but basically they got fired, and by the publisher Paradox Interactive. It's got a new release window, so let's check it out. From PCGamer.com on March 25th, 2025. So Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 won't be appearing in the first half of 2025. After so many delays, I have a feeling prospective bloodsuckers will already be pretty used to this. At least its new release window is more appropriate than the summer. It's now due out in October, the spookiest month of the year. The Chinese Room says the game is done, and the team's now working on bug fixing, stability, and performance. From my experience of the prologue and Fire's Blood introduction to modern Seattle, which I played through twice during a recent Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 hands-on, that section at least seems like that section at least seems like it's getting pretty close for prime time. What's not clear is why exactly it's being pushed back again. The previous delay was due to the studio deciding it wanted to flesh out the game's endings, but now it's past the point of adding anything new to the mix. So I don't know what they mean by it's not clear why they're pushing it back. They said it's bug fixes and stuff. They want to make sure it's polished. Gaming recently has been really bad about games coming out and not being good. They have a bunch of bugs. They have a bunch of problems. It's incomplete. And people are sick of that. So now they're probably trying to not have a big debacle like that. In the past, this was delayed really, they almost had to basically remake the game because it was rumored that it was going to be very political and about a lot of modern crap that nobody wanted to pay attention to or wanted in their game. So they just said let's basically remake this game, and that's basically why that's what people say is why it's been delayed so far. I really hope it's good though. Please let it be good. I don't know how it's going to be because of some different issues with it. You're playing a named protagonist. It's not going to be the same. That's the thing. It's not going to be the same as the first one. People are saying maybe they should have released it instead of being Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. They could have called it Vampire the Masquerade something else. I just want it to be a good game. That's it. Please be good. I don't know. Okay, so then we have another one we've been following for a while, Unrecord, coming out for PC. That's the super photorealistic game. It looked really good. It's basically being developed by like 1 or 2 people. We don't have anything new for it. The last thing we got was April 8th, 2024. And it was supposed to be... We were supposed to get some more information in 2024. We didn't. Like later in 2024, we didn't. So we haven't had any news. It's basically gone dark. Hopefully the game is still being developed and everything is going okay with that. Okay, so then we have one that we've been following for a really long time. It's been anticipated forever. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake coming at us to PC, PS4, and probably PS5 now, and Xbox. That's how long it's been. We've been waiting for this, is that it was listed for PS4, not PS5. So we've got a new confirmation of the release window. So it's being developed and published by Ubisoft. And then from thegamer.com on October 16th, 2024, Ubisoft's upcoming remake of the legendary action-adventure game Prince of Persia: Sands of Time is still on track for release in 2026, according to a graphic released by Ubisoft on social media. There were no murmurings of a delay, but given the troubled development of the remake up to this point, fans always fear the worst. The graphics... Excuse me, guys. The graphic details the history of the Prince of Persia series, beginning with the Prince of Persia in 1989, and ending with, you guessed it, the Prince of Persia Sands of Time... Sorry, the Sands of Time remake that's set to release in 2026. So basically, there was a graphic released on social media. There's no real concrete, nobody really saying anything, but that graphic showed this game being released in 2026. So, again, hope. Then we've got Dying Light the Beast. It's going to be coming at us to PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One's, Xbox Series X and S. It's being developed by developed and published by Techland. And we haven't had anything new. The last thing was information was released on February 6, 2025. It was set for the summer. That's all we've got. Nothing new there. We've got Fable coming to PC, Xbox Series X and S. It's got a new release window. It's coming at us from Playground Games and Third Kind Games and being published by Xbox Game Studios. There's a bunch of controversy with this. I think I have an idea. I think that actually... So the protagonist is this woman who's really ugly. And then there's also a trailer that shows, looks like it might be the giant at the top of the beanstalk. Okay, like Jack and the Beanstalk. I think they're basically remaking Fable into a totally new thing. I think that Fable, it means that what you're going to be playing is through different fables. So I don't, if this isn't what it is and they just made an ugly protagonist, I totally get why people are irritated with this. Stop making everything ugly in video games. Totally get that criticism. But if it's what I think it might be, you might be playing as the ugly stepsister from the Fables, you see? And that would be cool. That's got some potential to be a cool thing. Nobody said that. That's my own idea. It would be really cool if that's exactly what it was, because I'm a small nobody YouTuber and I'm predicting it here today. But okay, let's check it out. So from Games Radar on March 24th, 2025, Fable 4's release window has been pushed back to arrive sometime in 2026. Wow, look at that guy drive past my house with a really basically no muffler. That sucks. Anyway, Fable 4's release window has been pushed back to arrive sometime in 2026. Originally, the game was set to release in 2025 alongside of GTA 6. However, Playground Games has decided to give the upcoming title more time, quote unquote. The news of delay came on February 25th during the Xbox Game Studio podcast. The episode featured an update with head of Xbox Game Studios Craig Duncan, who revealed Fable had been pushed back, but offered reassurance that it's definitely worth the wait. This new development means that we've been waiting over 5 years for a new Fable game, but hopefully we'll hear more news on the exciting adventure soon as we get closer to 2026. If it is going to be you playing through Fables, there's potential for that to be a really cool thing. The problem is that's not what the other Fable games have been. So it's basically like a remake, of the series, but it's just being called Fable 4. So, but it's Fable instead of, so I don't know, maybe it's like the Doom series where it's like Doom 64, Doom whatever, Doom 2, Doom, okay, and then they just say, we're redoing this thing, it's going to have the same idea, but it's going to be different, quote unquote, and it's just going to be called Doom. Okay, so that's interesting. We'll see what they do, basically. Okay, so then we have another one that I am interested in, Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra. And it's got a new release window. This game is where you're going to basically play Captain America in World War II, and you're going to be fighting alongside a Black Panther. The Black Panther at that time, which is, it's like T'Challa's grandfather? T'Challa's grandfather. Yeah. It's coming at us from the developer Skydance New Media, and it's also being published by Skydance New Media. This is from the Direct on March 5th, 2025. In an exclusive conversation with the Direct's Russ Milheim at Multicon in Los Angeles, California, Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra voice actor Carrie Payton revealed a release window of the game before an official announcement. When asked about the upcoming title, Payton, who plays its version of the Marvel hero Black Panther, disclosed that they are still working, but are thinking it will see the light of day around Christmas. Skydance New Media is developing the game with a planned release in 2025. So we don't have anything yet. We'll see what happens. I think it's got potential just based on the premise, but it's not like something I've really been like super, yeah, let's go. But the premise seems interesting, and it's probably one that I'll play when it comes out, just to, and hopefully it's good. Okay. This next one I am super excited about. I am really excited. Subnautica 2, coming at us from the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and it's got an updated release window. It's being developed by Unknown Worlds Entertainment and published by Krafton from PCGamesN.com on April 24th, 2025. Subnautica 2 is set to launch between 2027 and 2028 after early access development ends. Unknown Worlds estimates Subnautica 2 will stay in early access for about 2 to 3 years after its 2025 launch. So we're looking at it for 2025 in early access. And that is basically how they have released all the other games. And you'll be able to play through the new features, and they can update things, and they can listen to the big thing. That's what's so cool, is that this early access, these guys basically do a really good job of listening to gamers, their fans and their players, and then they will make changes to the game based on feedback. So that's going to be awesome. The first two games were really good. The first one was better than the second. So this is Subnautica 2, but there was like Subnautica Frozen Wasteland. Subnautica Below Zero. That's what it is. Subnautica and then Subnautica Below Zero. Below Zero was not as good as Subnautica. Hopefully this one just like relaunches the whole idea here. And it's, I'm excited for this. So if you don't know, basically it's like Robinson Crusoe, where you get the first game and the second game, you basically get stranded on an alien planet that's made mostly of water. That's why it's Subnautica. And you have to literally go deeper and deeper into the water, into the depths, to try to escape each of these planets. You discover secrets along the way. The second one was more narrative driven than the first, but the first one was still really good. I'm more of a narrative-driven guy, but the first one's story still was like very well developed, and I really liked it. And I liked it better than the second one. So the second one wasn't bad. I just liked the first one better. Okay, so then we've got The Outer Worlds 2. We've got our last two here, by the way, guys. So we've got The Outer Worlds 2 coming to PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox Series X and S. It's got a kind of a release window confirmation for us, being developed by Obsidian Entertainment, who were the people that made the Fallout series originally, and then it's being published by Xbox Game Studios And basically, it's similar to the Fallout series, okay? I'm just letting you guys know. But from space.com on April 28th, 2025, The Outer Worlds 2 doesn't have a release date yet. However, it's been teased time and again as having a 2025 release window, so we're just waiting for a concrete date now. Given how meaty the trailer released in December 2024 was, we're reasonably sure it won't be delayed into 2026. So it for sure, well, no, not for sure, but it's like very likely it's going to be released this year. There will be no delay to next year. So that is a great thing to hear. Great thing to hear. Okay, so then we have a game that as soon as we saw the trailer, we were like, yep, that's the one. That's going to be the game we want. Blood of Dawnwalker. We've got release date speculation. So none of this is concrete, but people are speculating. So this is coming at us from the developer Rebel Wolves and being published by Bandai Namco Entertainment from GamesRadar.com on April 10th, 2025. Currently, there is no confirmed release date for The Blood of Dawnwalker. However, given the fact that we recently got a trailer for the game, we expect that we'll see it launch no sooner than in 2026. There have been hints that we'll learn more about the game around summer this year. So we are hoping, summer is just around the corner, and we are hoping that we get a confirmation on when it's going to be released. The game looks really good. It looks like it was made by the people that developed Witcher, like it has some developers from the Witcher series. It looks like a third-person, it's a vampire game. It's a third-person medieval vampire game. You got vampire powers. I like games. People say, in Skyrim you can be a vampire, but Skyrim, not all of the game mechanics. The game was not built from the ground up for you to be a vampire. I like games where you can, it's like designed around you being a vampire. That's why Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 1 was so awesome, and why I'm hoping that Bloodlines 2 will also be great. Blood of Dawnwalker, though, looks like it's going to be more focused on, kind of the action-adventure side of things with you getting vampire powers than it will be about you kind of living out your life as a vampire in kind of like a role-playing a vampire, exactly. But still, it looked really good, and the story looks like it's going to be cool. So that's 2025 so far. I apologize once more that this action update is getting out a little bit later than usual. If you've seen this far into the video, that means you really liked it. So I would just ask, please guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, become a member, get the videos a day early before anybody else. And check out the merch. We've got the merch. So I'm not wearing one of the shirts that you can get from our store. This is actually my MAARs Media shirt. But you can check out and get the cool wolf shirts, the werewolf shirts. We've got some cool mugs and all kinds of great stuff. Go check it all out. We've got sportswear now too. So I really appreciate it, guys. Again, thank you for your patience. I'm excited for this year. We'll see what happens. We're monetized now. The cash giveaways are going to be great if we can keep rolling. Let's build and build and build the audience. More ad revenue means we can do more things. That's all I've got, guys. Thank you all for watching. God bless you, and have a good day. Don't forget to check me out on Twitch and join the Discord where you can voice chat with me while I live stream, and you won't be recorded or anything on YouTube and Twitch, so that's pretty cool. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. If you like to read, you can see my after-action reports on my blog. And if you are interested, you can get some merch from my spring store. The links for everything are in the description below.